Bingo becomes a mum, and everything changes.
Welcome to the show.
Type hashtag MumBingo right now and stay with us to see how she turns childhood pain into powerful love. The question everyone's afraid to ask.
Warm and toasty.
What do we do now?
We go to the vet.
Is this real or imagined? Is Bingo actually a mum now? Or are we inside a memory, a dream, a hope? Every viewer is wondering, what kind of mum will she become? And quietly, what kind of parent will I be?
Where are you, New Zealand? New Zealand.
Have you ever looked at your own childhood and asked yourself if you'll do better? Bingo traces the tree's bark with her paw. The same scratch she made as a kid is still there. She whispers, "I'm still her, aren't I?"
Hey! Ah, look out!
What if this isn't the future? What if it's a memory she hasn't made yet? If this is true, then maybe it doesn't matter if it's real. What matters is that she's thinking about it, wishing to get it right, and that's where healing begins. But what if getting it right means doing the exact opposite of how you were raised? The moment she realizes she's nothing like her mom.
Bingo! Are you brave enough to go and look for clues to what the fairies might want?
I am!
What if love looks completely different the second time around? Bingo always felt like she had to catch up, be good, be fast, be quiet. Now she tells her son, "Take your time." And in that moment, she realizes she's already changing everything. Have you ever caught yourself doing the exact opposite of what was done to you and felt proud? Her fingers twitch like she wants to correct him, but she stops herself. She watches, smiles, waits, and that's enough. What if healing means becoming your own kind of mum, and not your mother's shadow? If this is true, then breaking the cycle doesn't have to be loud.
You're doing great.
Sometimes it's a quiet decision, a different reaction, a softer word. But what happens when her own pain resurfaces and she realizes being different isn't always easy? The first time, she feels like she's failing. What if you became the version of your parent you swore you wouldn't be? Bingo sees the look in her son's eyes, the one she used to have. That moment when love feels scary, and it breaks her.
Mom, what are we doing today?
Have you ever said something in frustration and felt the instant regret in your bones? The towel on the floor, the toothbrush she clenches, the whispered, "I didn't mean it." Her son's little feet shuffle near the door but don't come in. What if parenting is really reparenting your younger self through your child?
Dude, I just can't play the elevator game.
You are playing.
If this is true, then mistakes don't define her. What comes next? The hug, the apology, the soft, "I'm sorry." That's what matters most. But what if the hardest part of parenting is learning to forgive the child you used to be?
Whoa! There it is!
The day she forgives the little girl she used to be. What if the one person you've never been kind to is yourself? Bingo always blamed herself for feeling too much, needing too much, being too soft. But now she sees the truth. That little girl was just trying her best. Ever looked at a childhood photo and felt both love and sorrow? That's what forgiveness looks like. Not forgetting, but holding your younger self close.
Monica!
She places the photo by her son's bed, whispers, she didn't deserve the silence. And for the first time, she believes it. What if our younger selves watch us grow up from the stars? Would hers be proud of the mum she's become? If this is true, then healing isn't loud, it's quiet. Software, like a hug you give yourself after years of going without. But what if forgiving herself doesn't fix everything? What happens when Bingo faces the one thing she can't change? The goodbye she never got to say.
A dinosaur farm is a terrible idea!
the goodbye she never got to say.
Ready, Bingo?
What if the person you needed to say goodbye to was already gone? Bingo never got to tell Bandit she understood him, never said, "Thank you," or "You did your best." Now she whispers those words to the sky. Ever rehearsed something long after the moment passed? Some goodbyes come too late, some come in silence.
Special! The what?
The ink is smudged. Her thumb rests over the words, "I forgive you." She folds the letter into a bird and lets the rain carry it. What if letters to the ones we miss turn into stars? What if Bandit reads them every night? If this is true, then goodbye isn't always an ending.
Hey! What? Bingo!
Sometimes it's a beginning of peace, of letting go. But what if the person you still miss lives in someone new? What happens when Bingo starts seeing Bandit in her son?
Go and get a job and earn real ones.
The moment she sees him in her son.
Yes, Bingo.
Don't worry, I got it working.
What if the person you lost never really left? Bingo sees it. The walk, the laugh, the hug. Her son doesn't just look like Bandit, he feels like him. And in that moment, the ache of loss becomes something else. Relief.
Yeah, look,
Calling this number!
I'm trying to find out if Bingo left a jumper at home.
Ever heard someone say something, and for a second, someone you missed felt close again? Bingo places Bandit's old cap on the shelf. Her son puts it on backward, just like he did. She kneels, hugs him, and holds on longer than usual.
Oh, my feet. Rub my feet, Louie. Rub my feet.
What if memories echo through generations? What if Bandit gave his best parts to Bingo, and she passed them on without even knowing? If this is true, love doesn't end with goodbye. It becomes a seed, and someday you find it blooming in your child. But what happens when Bingo starts to wonder, will her son one day carry her pain too?
Can I have this, Dad? I need to write Tapgirl's order down.
The fear, he'll inherit her pain.
What have you got there?
Oh, nothing, dear.
What if the thing you've worked so hard to escape shows up in your child? Bingo sees the signs, the quiet, the people-pleasing, the way her son apologizes for needing comfort. It's all too familiar.
Someone's husband eventually gets it.
Have you ever looked at your child and feared they were feeling what you once felt? That somehow your pain didn't end, it just changed forms? Her son wipes away tears before she walks in. He says, "I'm fine," and smiles. Bingo kneels beside him, brushing his hair back, whispering, "You don't have to be."
Thank you so much for taking me to the ballet show. No worries, babe.
What if emotional pain could skip generations until someone is brave enough to stop it? If this is true, then Bingo's fear isn't weakness. It's proof she remembers, and it means she might be the one who finally changes everything. But what if breaking the cycle means opening wounds she's never healed?
Oh, hello, Doctor. My name is... Ouch!
The conversation she was never ready to have.
If we get stuck behind them, we'll be the last to the campsite, and we'll have to camp next to the toilet block.
Ew.
What if your child asks the one question you've spent your life avoiding? Bingo swallows hard. She never wanted him to feel her pain, but now she sees he already does. And maybe that honesty is the bridge they both need. Have you ever looked at your child and realized they carry the same questions you once did?
Have to do it properly.
Bingo's fingers wrap around her tea mug. Her voice shakes. "I didn't always feel safe," she says, "but I wanted you to." What if healing doesn't need perfect answers? Just truth spoken out loud?
Oh, bummer. I wanted to give some of those pine cones to your mum.
Look at him.
If this is true, then Bingo isn't just parenting. She's rewriting what love looks like in real time. But what happens when her son asks the one thing she can't explain? Why didn't they love you the way you love me?
What do you think?
Yeah.
All right. High five. Ah, got something in my eye.
The question that breaks her. What do you say when your child asks about the love you never got? Bingo pauses. She doesn't want to lie, doesn't want to hurt anyone. "I think she tried," she whispers, "but I didn't always feel it." Have you ever explained pain without passing it on? Many parents walk that line, loving their child fiercely, while still learning to love the child they were.
Watch. Tickle, tickle. See?
What would we do without you, Glenda?
Bingo presses her hand over his heart. I always want you to feel it. Every second. What if love skips a generation, just to return stronger? If this is true, Bingo isn't broken. She became the love she never got. And now, she gives it freely. But what happens when she finally sees? She didn't just heal, she changed everything.
Nice work, Bingo!
The moment she realizes, she broke the cycle. What if the pain you carried gave someone else peace? Bingo sees it in her son's face. No fear, no doubt, just calm. Have you ever realized that healing doesn't mean being okay? It means raising someone who doesn't have to recover from what you went through?
Let's eat him! Ow! Get off! Don't worry, we're friendly.
For every viewer who's ever said, "It ends with me," this is the moment they feel it did. Bingo tucks in the blanket. Her hand lingers. A tear falls. This time, from relief.
Arms okay? I think we're good.
Backwards.
And there it is.
What if her son is the dream she needed as a child? What if loving him healed her, without her noticing? If this is true, then Bingo didn't just raise a child. She raised a new future. She became the safe place she always needed.
Take care of Gloria and Lampy. Yes, I will. And
All right, come on.
Bluey and Bingo grew up. They healed. They broke the cycle. But the story's not over. Because now, it's Bluey's turn.